Thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this introductory session of Invest Catalyst Angel Network. And I thank you all for joining in today to have a brief about what we are all about to do. So let me just share a presentation with you all so that you have a clear understanding as to what Invest Catalyst Angel Network has in store. So as the name suggests, it's an angel network of individual persons wherein we will have people who are interested in investing in startups associated with us. And this will be proposing and giving you opportunities of new startups, interesting ideas, and something which they have already been working upon and which we feel that is going to be potential upside in the valuation, right? So we will be scouting for all these startups, we'll be presenting you all these opportunities, and then we'll try to figure out that whether this is an investable option or not. So this is an angel network which is powered by Startup Bazaar under the aegis of Startup Dreams Private Limited. Startup Bazaar is a platform which is providing all the kind of support to budding startups in India. It is based out of Gurgaon, and I and Nitin Goyal are two co-founders of this startup. And we also have with us Rajiv Talwar, who is a chief mentor for this Invest Catalyst Angel Network. He is also a chartered accountant by profession. So why should you join ICANN? Just let me take you through a couple of slides for what we are proposing here. So basically, it's an angel network to have opportunities for its members to invest in startups. It provides an investment platform. So basically, it's aimed towards professionals, chartered accountants, company secretaries, CMAs, lawyers, doctors, and some other professionals also. The predominant fraternity will be this, who will be the investors. But yes, this is not limited and restricted to the professionals. If there is any other individual who is interested to invest through our network, that will be most welcome. Why we are predominantly focusing on these kind of finance and tax professional is basically because we, from being from the finance background, understand the nuances of new startups. What are things which can go far, but are the things which cannot go far, or probably the finances or the projections we are able to understand better than others. And obviously, on top of that, if we get to know the idea behind the startup and to know the founders also, then we can take much more informed call. So members of this network will benefit from collective strength of committed funds, because say, for example, if I as an individual go out and start scouting for startups, probably I'll not have that negotiating power. I'll not have that financial bandwidth to support my investments. Whereas if there are 25 or 30 or 50 people in the network, even if each individual is committing just 20 lakh rupees in a year of investable fund. So if we have 50 people around us, we will have 10 crore rupees in the commitment level. And that will offer us much more enhanced deal making capabilities. And this will attract more capable startups to our network as compared to an individual, right? Then next is with ICANN, investors can start investing with small funds rather than, because startup has its own needs. Probably as an individual, one might not be able to invest in large amounts. So with a network, when there is a collective investment happening, your piece can be smaller amount. So as an ICANN team, what will be our responsibility? We will be creating a pipeline of all these startups. We'll be evaluating them at the first level. It's not just that each and every startup which is coming at our door, we'll be presenting it to you. There will be a first level of screening which will happen about the basics of what their financials look like, what is the idea about, whether it will fly or not in a later period of time, what is the potential out there, what is the founder team looks like, right? What are their capabilities? So all this kind of first level screening will happen at our stage. And then what we feel is probably good to be presented before the network, that we will present to you. So what are our brief objectives? Our brief objectives are build a network of investors willing to invest in early and mid-stage startups. So basically, we are not going to target too big of the startups who have already gained quite a high valuation. Neither we are looking at a very early idea stage startup which has not got any kind of prototype or which has not been launched yet. So these kind of startups will be very, very minuscule until and unless the idea is too stupendous, right? We'll not be presenting the startups which are only at the idea stage. So there needs to be certain level of early traction which has happened with the startups, and there should be certain level of minimum investment which they have made on their own or through somebody else. That is what we will be looking around to create a pool of investable funds. So we'll create a pool. Basically, when the network comes around, there will be a pool of investable funds. Organize investor education programs to develop investment skills. Obviously, we are financial experts, we are chartered accountants, or in any other field of profession. We do understand about investment, but yes, there are certain nuances which can always be developed. So we'll organize certain learning webinars, and we'll call experts who have already made investments, what is their experience, probably what works, what does not work, kind of looking around things and gaining from a collective experience. Then create a pipeline of effective investable startups, and then incubation and mentoring opportunities to start up from the pool of expert investors. Now, this is very important. What happens is that many times investors just invest. But we being professionals, we have much more insights into the business. We have much more insights into the financial, and we also have connects across industry, because many of us are practicing chartered accountants, or even if we are in job, over a period of time, we have created our networks. So when we invest in a startup, probably we will be able to provide them much more growth opportunities as compared to as an individual we will be able to provide, right? So when there are 10 professionals who have invested in a startup, probably each one will be looking to create a value in that startup, and therefore they will be utilizing their contacts in order to enhance the business of the new venture or that particular investee company. So in that scenario, what brings in is, as an individual investor also, you will get a chance to interact with the startups. You will get a chance to get into mentoring arrangements with them. We'll have those interactive sessions wherein the investor, ultimately the choice of accepting any one of us as a mentor or not will be of the startup. But yes, we'll create those opportunities of interaction between investors and the startup in order to create mutual work opportunities also. Then our founding principles are basically transparency between members and startups. What is going to be the investment amount, who is going to invest, what are the financials, what are the projections and everything. There will be pitch calls which will be arranged wherein the founders will come and tell you about what is their idea about their startup. Then risk mitigation. We'll conduct due diligence process on the startup. We'll have consultation with the members. And yes, because you will be investing in small amounts, you can diversify your portfolio of startups in order to make an investment. Otherwise, if we go to a single startup as an individual, probably my entire investment kitty might be required to be invested in one startup itself. So that's how we can create a diversification with smaller investments. Value proposition is that we will identify unique business ideas and strong leadership team and creating a wealth for the members. Then collaboration, as I mentioned, that there will be much more opportunities of collaboration between the investors and the startups. So that is also something which we will be trying to create. Then obviously, why should you be an angel investor? Obviously, I have listed down, but we being professional, I hope that we all know that people have exhausted their investment avenues. Say for example, everybody is invested in stock markets. They have created their assets in terms of physical properties. People have also invested in gold. They have invested in mutual funds and debt portfolios, but still people want to look for certain kind of investment avenues where the risk rewards are higher. Basically, startup investment is a risky affair, no doubt about it, but yes, then the reward is much more higher than what you can earn in either stock markets or in real estate. So the kind of returns startups are giving nowadays, and if we get a good team of founders to bet on, the returns can be anywhere in the range of 10 times to 100 times within a very short span of time of 2 to 3 years. So that is how the value creation can happen in terms of startup investments. Obviously, there are certain favorable tax and regulatory regimes also. And startup, by investing in a startup, the business itself can create value proposition. Right. So obviously, and another important point is that you can share your knowledge with the next gen entrepreneurs. So professionals do carry a lot of wealth of knowledge with them, and many times professionals are not very inclined to do their own business, but yes, the knowledge can be passed on to the founders and to the leadership team, because once you are an investor, you will be much more interested in their growth as compared to somebody else. So this knowledge can pass on and it can help them grow better. And last but not the least, we get an opportunity to learn about a lot of new ideas. Believe me that the new entrepreneurs are just doing marvelous job in creating ideas and creating opportunities out of nowhere. They are doing wonderful things, and obviously when we get to interact with the younger lot, they have so much of energy around their idea. They have thought about it. They want to scale up at a very large pace, at a very fast pace. So we also get to know what is happening in the industry, what kind of new ideas and what kind of new innovations are coming around. So by interacting with these kind of startups, we get to know pre-hand what will be coming, say for example, 2 years or 3 years down the line in the market. So that is how it helps us. Now coming on to the investment process, I am running it a little fast so that we can have time for question answers also. So what is the investment process? When we are creating a pool of funds, we are not asking the members to pool the funds in one bank account. The funds will stay and remain with the investors only. The members will only have a commitment towards the network that yes, we are ready to invest in the startups, and this is the amount which we can invest. Now what the process will look like is that we will identify the startup, then we will make a basic evaluation, then we will arrange whatever whosoever passes this evaluation process will put it across to the members, and there will be arranged a founders pitch call. In the pitch call itself, there will be addressing of queries by the investors, means where if the investors have certain queries, they can raise it there and then. And also later on, after the session, after the pitch call, if you have any further queries, then those can be addressed by the founders in a subsequent follow-up session, right? Once we get a interest from the a minimum kind of interest from the members, say for example, a 25 lakh of total interest from 10 members, then we will proceed towards a due diligence. Then we will conduct a full-fledged due diligence, financial due diligence, tax and secretarial due diligence on the startup, so as to consider and evaluate whether this company is investable or not. Then after the due diligence, we'll have an investor follow-up call so as to put forth the findings of this due diligence process. And we hope generally that if the due diligence process goes smoothly and there are no adverse findings, then the closure of investment can happen within the 6 to 8 weeks time period, right? Because there are generally certain conditions precedent which are arising out of due diligence process. Just hold on, a few people are waiting. Just give me a minute. Okay, great. So I think now more people are there. I'll just briefly repeat what is the investment process, what it would look like. Investment for the benefit of the people who have just joined. Let me just give you a brief background just in a couple of minutes. So basically, ICANN is an Invest Catalyst Angel network, which is a network predominantly for professionals, CAs, CS, CMAs, lawyers, and doctors. This will give you a collective strength of investment. As an individual, if we go and invest, probably will not have that much of negotiating power as we can have as a collective force. We'll have much more transparency in terms of what is happening at the startup level and how the members will be investing. There will be risk mitigation by joining hands in this network, because we will be gaining from collective wisdom of many people who will have different point of views and different thoughts about a new startup coming in. We will be bringing in new ideas, new kind of businesses, which will be placed before the members or the network participants, so that it can create much more wealth. And then we will also present certain opportunities for the members to interact with the startups and find collaboration opportunities with them. So depending upon what as to how and why you should be an angel investor, basically, if you have joined here, you are aware that startup is a very niche kind of domain. Investments can grow up to 100 times very easily if it flies. Obviously, there are risks involved, no doubt about that. But yes, at this point of time, when the Indian startup space is starting to explode, if you would know that we have got 30 unicorns, more than 30 unicorns within this year itself. So that is how the kind of startup ecosystem is evolving and gaining strength day by day. So it's a kind of good diversification of investment portfolio, wherein you have invested in equities or mutual funds or gold or real estate. Probably certain percentage, 10 to 15% of your investment portfolio can be diverted towards investments in startups. And obviously, there will be a lot of learning when we interact with new startups, the new leadership, new founders, young entrepreneurs, what kind of ideas they are working on, what kind of innovation is happening in this space. We get to know a lot more things. Now, coming on to the investment process, we'll identify the startups first. We'll have a basic evaluation done at the first level, and those who pass on from this evaluation process, we will arrange a founders pitch with between the founders and the members of network. Certain queries can be addressed during the session itself, but if there are follow-up queries, we will have the founders address them also, either in written form or in a follow-up session. Then if we receive a minimum interest, minimum commitment level from the investors, then we will conduct a due diligence process, which will be a financial, tax, and secretarial due diligence, also a legal due diligence on the startup. And once the due diligence report is out, we'll have an investor follow-up call if there is not too much of adverse inference which can be drawn, and we'll put forth the results of the due diligence process before the investors. And once we decide to invest as a network, then we believe that the closure of everything, the investment process will be completed within 6 to 8 weeks, because in due diligence process, there are certain condition precedents which generally arise that yes, you have to do this, at least 4, 5, 7 things before the investment is made out in your company. So in totality, probably after the due diligence is conducted, we hope that a closure will be achieved in 6 to 8 weeks. And after the investment has been made, we'll also set up certain targets and give them milestones to run, which will be reviewed on a periodic basis, generally on quarterly basis. So the investment is by choice. Obviously, as I mentioned, there is no compulsion, there is no pooling of fund in terms of actual fund. We are not creating a pool. We are just taking commitments from the prospective investors that yes, if you are interested in making the investment, you just commit us that yes, this is the investable funds you have, and this is the amount of fund you will be ready to invest. Secondly, there will be an effective validation process, and there will be collective minds which will be applied. Basically, as an investor, because we have a pool of professionals, there will be collective wisdom which will be applied on a particular investment. The investment ticket size is as low as 2,50,000 per startup per individual, right? So then we have centralized monitoring. You as an individual would not be required to take care and have an interaction on an individual level. As a team, we'll put across our team members to take them to take periodic reviews and present them to the network. Also, because we are professionals at the cost of reputation, we'll be definitely providing certain mentorship and guidance. Obviously, we are not going to bombard the founders with the mentoring, but yes, certain level of mentoring can always be provided, and the startup will be allowed to have mentoring sessions with the group of investors. Right, so these are the basic points for investment focus. Basically, the idea should be unique. There should be market opportunities for that idea. There should be a model, business model around that. We'd also look at the competition in which they are operating. What is the competition for them? And what is the founder team look like? What are their capabilities, educational qualifications, whether they have any prior experience or not? All those things would be taken care of. Right, so this is just a detail of what I've already mentioned. As I said that there will be only fund commitment by members. There will be no money which will have to pay this network. You'll just commit at least 20 lakh rupees of investment. The members of ICANN will be required to sign and submit a commitment letter to ICANN. Basically, you'll just say that we are committed to you. Because ultimately what happens is that when we have a commitment letter from the investors, we'll have much more leverage while we go and scout for the new startup ideas and the new startup teams. So that is how we will be working around. The commitment fund shall remain with the members only and shall not be collected or pooled by ICANN. Members will be free to choose the startup in which they wish to invest. It is not mandatory for the members to make investment in startups presented to them. Although more investment will mean more reward points for the members. I'll talk about what does this mean. Then if a member chooses to make an investment, the minimum amount of investment in one startup shall be 2.5 lakhs. So the minimum ticket size of investment is 2.5 lakhs. Then members will be provided opportunities to interact with founders and seek details about their business models, growth potential, and competition. And members will also be required to sign a non-disclosure agreement wherein they shall be restricted to share the confidential information shared by the founders during the pitch sessions or otherwise. So obviously you would understand that the ideas which are there with the founders team or the leadership team of startups, they are confidential in nature. Their business models, if they are coming to us and sharing with us all their details, they would like a non-disclosure agreement to be signed with all the members who have attended the pitch session. Or even if as a member, you can sign a generic disclosure agreement also. So that is a basic expectation from each one of us, that we'll not share these ideas or we'll not implement these ideas on our own once we have heard it from somebody else. So this is our core team. I, Anshul Kumar Singhal, I'm the co-founder of Startup Bazaar. I'm also a core member of ICANN. Nitin Goyal, he's also there on this call. He is also my co-founder in Startup Bazaar. And Shri Rajiv Talwarji, he's also a chartered accountant by profession and a very close associate with us. He will be also a core member and mentor of ICANN. He is also a regional partner of fastercapital.com, which is a Dubai-based fund to make investments in ideas stage startups and technology field, and he's also an international partner with World Business Angel Investment Forum. So I'm not sure whether Rajiv ji is there today or not. He has been able to join. Rajiv ji is there. Rajiv ji, you want to say something?
नहीं सर, आपने सब कुछ बोल दिया है. मतलब it's fine, and happy that we are able to connect together and create a meaningful and good platform for startups and for professionals together to learn more, earn more, to be very precise.
Right, right. So friends, there is an annual membership of 15,000 rupees, but as in we are just starting up, so this membership is waived as of now. This is 100% waived off for now. There is no joining membership fees for the members which will be joining us, who will be joining us in a month or two. And obviously, if you refer somebody else, he can also, or he or she can also join without any joining membership fees. However, there is a documentation fees of 2% whenever you decide to make an investment in a startup. Say, for example, if 2.5 lakh rupees the amount which you tend to invest, then we will charge you a 5,000 rupee, which is 2% of this amount. So that is going to be your fees. And obviously, you would understand that there would be teams involved, there will be efforts in making investments, in making all these kind of arrangements for calls and doing the basic research about the startups, about their industry, and presenting the ideas to you. So that this is basically a cost for that. And also at the time of exit, whatever is the exit amount, when you get the money from exiting a startup, at that point of time also there will be documentation requirements for your exit, share transfers and everything. So at that time also a 2% documentation fee will be charged from the investor. So these are certain referral benefits. If you refer anyone, you'll get a 2,000 Amazon voucher, and the member who joins will also get a 2%, 2,000 rupees of discount in the yearly membership fees. But yes, as of now, the entire 15,000 is waived off. So till the time this waiver period is going on, these referral benefits will not work. But obviously, once the membership fee triggers in, the referral benefits will also trigger in. Also, there are benefits on your making investments on a regular basis. If you make an investment of 15 lakh rupees in a year, you'll get a 20% discount in next year's fees, and also a 10% discount in the documentation fees. Also, if you make 25 lakh rupees of investment in the previous year, then the annual membership fee will go down by 50%, whereas the documentation fee will go down by 25%. So this is how it will work. We also have a website with us. You can visit it later on, but the website generally contains whatever I have spoken right now. So I'll now open up the forum. Nitinji, do you want to add something?
Nothing much. As you rightly pointed out, the basic idea to have this ICANN platform is just to kind of take taking two sides together. One side, the startup, who we think that they have the potential to grow, and on the other side, we just trying to consolidate the investors. And while consolidating the investors and the startups, just to keep risk factor as low as possible at the both ends. Neither too much investment in a one of the startup or not just to looking for something else. So that's it. Otherwise, Anshul has briefed all the things.
Okay, so let's open up the forum for questions. Manoj Maheshwari ji have mentioned that he has a lot of questions. Manoj ji, you can just unmute yourself and ask the questions.
Hi Anshul, thanks for the session. Is my voice clear and audible?
Yes, it's perfectly audible.
Okay, so I have actually several questions. I heard you. I think your model is pretty similar to a few other things that are current like Inflection Point Ventures, etc. So the first question is, I think there's this concept called alternate investment funds, and I think probably that's regulated by SEBI.
Yes.
Is this going to be somewhere in that category, or it's completely different from that?
It's completely different because when we talk about AIF, it is actually a registered entity wherein the money does not remain with the investor, but it is just pooled in a mutual fund kind of a situation with the alternate investment fund.
Okay.
So it is similar to a mutual fund. Mutual fund people invest in equities of listed companies, whereas AIF is created for investment in startups generally.
Yeah.
So
Because the reason
Huh.
I ask is, I think what IPV does is, if you're investing in the range of 2.5 lakh, I think then probably the person who's investing doesn't get the share certificate. Rather, IPV gets something of that sort. I'm not a member of IPV. I have got to know about some of these concepts very, very recently. But I thought that, so in this case, if we were to invest, so the share certificate will come in our name?
Yes.
Okay.
So to my mind, IPV does not have an alternate investment fund, to my knowledge, as far as my knowledge goes, because they also operate like a network of investors. So
Okay,
that is what my knowledge says, but I'm not sure if they have changed that method or they have created a fund. That might have happened, but I'm not aware.
They do have, Anshul, they do have.
Okay, so they do have AIF now.
Yeah.
Okay. So might be a recent thing because I had interacted with them probably 2 years back. At that point of time, they were only having this network form.
No problem. So you
AIF is
confirmed
generally to protect the captive, because at times there are restriction in an Indian company. I think you can't have more than 150 or 200.
No, 200 shareholders.
Yeah. So therefore, at times, just to protect that number, AIF is a preferred route nowadays. Therefore, that's really encouraged.
So, Manoj, what has happened is that IPV has grown quite a bit in recent times. So their investment level is much higher now. But they also started with a similar kind of thing. And there are networks around. There is FARD network, I think. There are other networks, India Angel networks. And Rajivji, probably you can throw more light on India Angel networks, which operates in a similar kind of fashion.
Yeah, so Manoj, most of the angel networks as on date, which are the first movers in the category, are still operating as networks. They don't put their brand name as a investment into the startup. It is the individual investors which are behind the scene who put the money as per their convenience and nod and their approval. AIF is no doubt a new methodology because with the increase in number of investors and the increase in number of people interested to put money into startups, the AIF route has been adopted. Again, I have my reservation on that in the sense that it depends on the horizon that you want to enter into. It's not necessary that at our stage, if 10 people are entering, all 10 would like to exit at Series A, depending on the performance of the startup. So many would say, "No, boss, I'm happy with my 5x. Please return my money." Or somebody might say, "No, boss, I'll hang on. Maybe it might go to 20x, so I will exit at that point in time." So that is all up to the individual. We don't force anyone to exit or enter.
Got it. So but yeah, my key question was to understand if the share certificate will come in the name of the person who's investing, which you have clarified.
Individual.
Yeah.
और जो आपने AIF का point उठाया ना उसमें, see, when the AIF will work exactly like a mutual fund. So what will happen is, so everybody will exit at the same time. So whether it is 5x, 10x, 20x, whatever.
Okay.
The fund will keep its money, then there will be some charges attached to it, then the entire pool will be distributed among the entire people.
Correct.
So you may
Got
get a 5 rupee, the other one may get a 10 rupee, the other one may get even 1 rupee, whatever.
Got it.
Right?
I
But
have many more questions, and in the interest of time, I'll very quickly go with my other questions.
ask any number of questions. That is not a problem.
Okay. Anshul, at the beginning of the session, I either overheard or I got that impression that you were saying that, because it will be a pool, you may not be investing in one startup. But abhi jo main samajh pa raha hu, once you make a commitment and the minimum investment size is about 2.5 lakhs. So ultimately, that 2.5 lakh will get invested in one startup, correct?
Yes, so let me explain it to you with an example. So say for example, you have an investable fund of 20 lakh rupees, right?
Okay.
So you will commit to us that I have this 20 lakh rupees which I'll invest.
Right.
Then out of this 20 lakh rupees, you can invest in, say for example, 5 startups for 2.5 lakh each, which will exhaust your 12.5 lakh rupees of money.
Got it. Okay.
So the minimum ticket size of investment in one startup is 2.5 lakh rupee, but 20 lakh is the commitment amount which you give to us as a network, that okay, I'm ready to invest this much of money, or I have this surplus which I can invest. Obviously, the investment decision is entirely yours, entirely.
No, get that. I was under the impression that even in the 2.5 lakh, are we going to do something wherein it also gets distributed in multiple startups? But this has been clarified, so I am clear on this. The third question is, now you're talking about commitments, right? Now I'm just trying to check. You're saying the money will remain with the investor in his own bank account, and you will take a commitment. अभी वो कितना फूल प्रूफ है, मतलब लोग तो कुछ भी कमिटमेंट देके कभी भी बैकआउट कर सकते हैं, तो हाउ विल दिस थिंग वर्क? आई अंडरस्टैंड यू विल हैव फेथ इन पीपल, दैट्स अ डिफरेंट मैटर, बट I hope you get what I'm trying to say.
I have absolutely got your point, and there are certain penalties which are levied by other networks. But to start with, we'll not be doing that. Obviously, yes, as and when we grow and we have much more commitments, and probably see, we are very close group of people which will be operating, and there is a kind of trust level which operates in a fraternity.
Right.
That's why we are operating in a fraternity. So we know that whosoever will be joining us or connecting with us will be connected to us through certain kind of connection, right?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, rightly mentioned that initial days it will be based on trust and faith, and we hope, that is our expectation, that the commitments will not be breached. But yes, depending upon our experience, if we see that the breach of commitments is gaining prominence, probably we'll come up with certain penalties around that.
Yes, the reason I ask is, you say, if 10 people commit 2.5 lakh, you have a commitment of 25 lakh, you'll go and negotiate with the startup, and then suddenly you find that, out of 10, 5 people have backed out or 4 people have backed out. Then the whole negotiation goes for a toss, isn't it?
It is, but Manoj, that is certain level of risk we have to take as a network, and that is how we will play.
Okay, got it. The other question is, see, nowadays, there are angel networks who are starting as low as 50K also. So I wanted to check, are there, the thing is, while this whole startup world, especially in the last 1 year, once we've created crypto unicorns, etc., is suddenly come a buzz. People are also talking so much about crypto and everything, but still, a lot of people do have a lot of hesitation or sense of insecurity, because one, it is not regulated sector. Secondly, here you don't know, if you make your investment, the chances are either you will make a huge amount of money, which is 10x, 20x. I've heard people making 5,000x also, or it may go completely down the drain, right?
Absolutely.
So the question is, given the way you are doing, because you're not creating a AIF kind of thing, so is there a possibility to look at a lower minimum cap?
Well, Manoj, we have given it a thought, but what we feel is that if the cap is lowered, it does not make much financial sense.
Hello, sorry, yeah.
So, Manoj, what we are saying is that if we make it too low for investment, then what happens is that the people who will the number of investors we will require will be too high. And as Shailendra also mentioned that there is a limit of 200 shareholders in a company. So that requirement will be breached in a very short amount of fund.
No,
So there are-
the
Yeah.
starters are not necessarily, starting as a company, right?
No, so
Why I'm
we'll not
asking
be
is-
looking at other than companies.
Okay, because why I'm asking is, since you guys are so much into this, you might have heard of things like Taiki and these kind of things, which enable people to put, smaller denominations also. And angel networks do have tie-up with things like Taiki, etc. You heard of Taiki?
No.
Okay, so maybe, very quickly you can Google it out. So abhi bhi aap dekhenge, it's almost like something like a platform created to get investments in startups, but in much smaller denominations. So that's the reason see, the point is, if the only target group is high net worth individuals, then that is fine. But if the idea is to also attract, people like I'm a salaried class person. So if the idea is to also attract, middle level people, then something on those lines needs to be thought through. That's my submission.
A point well taken, Manoj. We'll think around that. But as per our primary evaluation, investment below 2.5 lakh does not make too much of financial sense. Because in terms of a commitment, when we are negotiating with the startup team, then also we need to show certain kind of commitment level. So in any case, say 25 to 50 lakh rupees of investment is very basic in these kind of startups. So if we put around a 50,000 of mark, within just 50 lakh rupees of investment, we'll have 100 investors. So to manage all those kind of paperwork, to manage all those kind of things for a 50 lakh rupees of investment becomes too onerous on the startup as well as on the network.
I get it. Okay, I think many of my questions have been answered. Thanks for taking the time to answer these questions.
My pleasure. Siddharth, please go ahead.
Yeah, so my question is in continuity to Manoj's question. So I understand that the amount for the minimum investment cannot be lowered below 2.5 lakh, because then that would create a situation of too many shareholders or too many investors. But the commitment amount, which is 20 lakhs, can something be worked around that? Because that seems to be a little on the higher side. I understand that 2.5 lakh can be the minimum investment, but the commitment amount can be lowered a little bit, so that so I understand that the high net worth individuals will not have a problem in investing this, but even the salaried people can also, considering that the commitment amount is this much, around 10 or 15, they will also be, I would say, they would also get attracted towards this kind of a platform to invest into startups.
So definitely, that commitment level can definitely be thought of, and minimum commitment of 20 lakh rupees can be thought of. That's not an issue with us, I think.
Yeah,
probably
that's
we
my
can
suggestion.
just go down on the go down on discussion point again, and probably I feel that can be modified. That's not a big issue.
Yeah. Thanks.
Here, just one thing to add, Siddharth. That as far as that minimum size is concerned, you are rightly saying that there would be lots of number of shareholder in case your ticket size is just 2 lakh, 2.5 lakh or 5 lakhs. But there is other side of this as well, that the risk of a particular investor. In case he has a kitty of say 20 lakhs, 25 lakhs, which he wants to invest, and all the amount are getting invested in one startup, it's a higher risk as compared to in case we can get it bifurcated to a number of startups. So just to start with, otherwise whenever we'll grow together, and this 2 lakhs will be 20 lakhs in 2 crores and so on and so forth.
No, I understand that. So what I understand from the conversation is that if suppose I invest 10 lakhs, then there may be a situation wherein that 2.5 lakhs is invested into 4 companies, right? So it will not be that situation that entire 10 lakhs is invested into a single company.
Yes.
So that is what I'm saying, that we can keep the minimum investment at 2.5 lakhs for each member, but the commitment amount can be lowered a little bit so that even the salaried class is attracted to the platform.
Point well taken, Siddharth. So what let me also just clarify that the minimum amount of commitment is 2.5 lakh, and obviously if somebody wants to invest more in a company, if the person likes the idea more, then there is no restriction.
Yeah, higher amount can go up to whatever the person wants to invest.
Yes.
There is no restriction on that. You want to invest 10 crores, you're welcome.
Absolutely. No, actually not 10 crores also, because if a person is investing 10 crores, probably they'll not come to us.
I'm just giving an example.
Well taken. So that this point is well taken. Probably we'll rework, and that is why we had this introduction webinar, so that we take the thoughts also of people who are interested to join our network.
Yeah, thanks.
Anybody else having questions?
Anshul, there are 2-3 questions in the chat box which people have brought in. So they are very short, clear. We can answer that.
Let me just read them. What is the Nitin Gupta is asking? What is the frequency of periodic reviews? It will be generally quarterly basis. It will be quarterly, but it can vary depending upon the business which they are carrying on. It can be monthly also, but yes, quarterly review is something which is given, and we also do not want to overburden the startup with periodic reviews, right? So we want to give them space to work around. So we feel and we believe that a quarterly review of what the milestones were set at the time of investment and what have been achieved is a good time frame to have a review. Then this is okay. Then Nitin Gupta is asking one more question. What will be the procedure to exit? Is there any charges that ICANN team will charge when we exit our funds from investment? Yes, Nitinji, 2% charge will be there at the time of exit also, right? As I mentioned in the plan, if you would see, this is there.
So this 2% would be of what amount? The investment amount?
No. So the amount which you get at the time of exit.
The exit amount.
Yes. Right. And then Sandhya is asking, can we bring startup ideas to this forum who are looking for funding? Absolutely, why not? But you'll have to bring it to the core team, not to everybody, because we will be having a certain level of evaluation at the first place. So only once the idea and the team passes that basic evaluation process, then only we will be putting it towards putting it forth to the members, the network members, right? So that is how we will go about it. But yes, you are most welcome to present the ideas. How we will monitor the investments, Ronnie Workies. Ronnie ji, we will be monitoring the investment to you. We will be setting certain parameters of performance, and we will be evaluating them on the basis of those parameters and putting an update before the investors on a periodic basis, right? Will the members who want to invest be getting training, mentoring with respect to working framework of startups? Yes, sir, definitely. As you see here, We have mentioned in organized investor education programs to develop investment skills, as well as once you will be interacting with the startups, you will be gaining much more insights into the business of those startups as well. Is there any deadline to join ICANN? No, sir, there is no deadline. You can choose whenever you want to join, but yes, as of now, we are running this waiver period, wherein the annual membership is waived off completely. This is 100% discount. So as soon as we get going and get working, probably this may come up. If someone, Sandeep Davidan is asking, if someone wants to exit from any investment, will he get help from you finding new investors? Absolutely, sir. This is what we will be doing, and obviously it will not be at an individual level, but probably yes, as a network, there will be certain time frame which will be set to the founders that yes, you have to found new investment, either a series A or series B kind of investments. And whenever that investment is happening, at that point of time, there will be certain opportunities to exit, and you might choose from those opportunities. You might want to stay invested depending upon the performance, or you may want to exit. Is this, Sandhya ji is asking, is this restricted to startups only, or some established business who are looking for crowdfunding can also pitch? Generally, it is limited to startups as of now, but yes, if there are certain good businesses which are looking for investments and which tend to kind of fit into our investment opportunities or our investment objectives, definitely we can look at those ideas. But yes, obviously the first evaluation will be with the core team. Do you have to report to any regulatory body? Roni ji, no, we don't have to report to any regulatory body because this is not an AIF, alternate investment fund. So if there is a creation of AIF, which is just a replica of mutual fund kind of a thing, there are minimum investment requirements. The fund manager has to raise, I think, 20 crore rupees of funds in that AIF. And there are certain regulatory reportings also which are happening, because ultimately the fund gets invested in the AIF then. However, what this network ICANN is doing, we are not collecting funds from anybody. We are just presenting ideas in the founders team before the network, and whosoever likes to invest in that startup idea, they will be investing on their own sweet free will after taking their own considered decisions, right? So that is why a network, an angel network, is not required to report to anybody. Is there any email ID for core committee members? Yes, we have an email ID. This is info@, I am putting it in chat box, info@investcatalyst.in. This is our email ID. You can send the any generic query also. If you have any follow-up query, you can send it to a mail to us. Prateek Chitalia ji is asking, any revenue model for bringing startups requiring funding? Prateek ji, we can discuss this on an offline basis. If you have any kind of thing to ask, we can discuss it offline. Manoj Maheshwari ji is asking, has Startup Bazaar already made certain investments? Any success stories as of now? Sir, we have not made any investment, but yes, we have conducted a due diligence, and we are in the process of, one of our clients is in the process of raising almost around 1.5 crore of fund. And the entire due diligence process was managed and handled by us. That startup is into elderly healthcare. So we have got a pipeline of investments, so as to say. We have people working in cloud kitchen space. We have people working in mobility space. We have a new startup which is coming up in a month or so, which will be working in electric vehicles space and the logistics business. Then we have this elderly people space. Then we have one or two startups working in e-gaming thing. So yes, there is a pipeline which is already there. However, we'll have much more bigger pipeline when we have formally set up this and we have announced this to the larger audience. Anil Dulani ji, Anil ji will share the recording with you. We'll share the recording on the group.
Hello.
Yeah.
So I think I joined a little late. So was there any slide on how to become a member?
We have not shared how to become a member. We will be sharing a form, a registration form very soon. You can just click it here. This is where you can become a member. There will be certain information asked. And I can just tell you that this annual membership fee, as of now, this is waived off completely. We are not charging anything as kind of annual membership fees. But yes, there will be certain 2% of documentation fee when you will invest, and also when you'll take an exit from a startup.
Right.
So this is how it works. And obviously for becoming a member, we'll ask you to fill up a form. And there will be a commitment letter also. There will be a commitment letter. This is where it was written. Yes. This is one. The members of ICANN will be required to sign and submit a commitment letter to ICANN of the kind of funds they are committing towards the network. Obviously, let me clarify that the funds will not be collected from you. It will remain in your bank account. But yes, we'll need a certain level of commitment that yes, you are willing to invest this much of money, so that we are aware about the kitty available to us for investments in startup. So that we can look for those kind of startups who are looking to get the investment, and the amount of kitty which we have will also give us strength to have that negotiation power with the startups. Can you, Prakharji is asking, can you share the group joining link on WhatsApp? Yeah, definitely. I'll share this member link with you on the group, right? I think you're asking about this membership form only, right, Prakharji? Okay, so I think today's queries we are done with the queries today. Anybody else want to ask something, or we can just close it? Fine. I think thanks everyone. Thanks for joining in and taking out time today. It was a very interactive session. A lot of queries came out, and I'm pretty hopeful that you will be joining in this network, and we'll grow together. That's what I can say. That this is a great opportunity for all of us to get around the startup space, and just to get hold of these new age startups, which can present enormous growth opportunities. Thanks everyone. We are closing it for today. Bye. Have a good night.
Thanks.